Previously on DrakeParagon.
They have landed a coastie.
That's just the start of your trip.
Frozen goods on this side. $450 worth of oil and fuel filters, 3/4 of the planet. Thank you, Joyce.
There's nothing on the boat now that is stopping us.
The Roman vegetarians of Newfoundland. Togo Power Rangers!
I have no idea if this is going to work. Wow, this thing is moving fast. It's just passing over us right now. By 9 o'clock tonight, the center of Tropical Storm Andrea will be right over Nova Scotia and it will be inland. In 13 hours, it will have traveled like 500, 600 miles. It will be gone by tonight. So I guess we can look at passage weather now. Here's surface analysis. 8 a.m. today. It's like right now. Holy moly, huh? Look at that. All 30 knots, all going north. Wow. Here's 3 p.m. today. Again, we're right here. Here's 4 p.m. today. We're in nothing right over Gloucester, but that's
Howling.
out there. 8 a.m. tomorrow. 3 p.m. tomorrow. Variable in all directions.
Drake.
What? Oh, they're raising anchor.
Yeah. I just didn't see him on the bow.
I wonder why they're raising anchor. I mean, they're not dragging, are they?
No, unless they think that we're on top of their chain or too close to them or something. They go up and say hello?
I don't think we're too close.
No, I don't think either. Maybe they do. Because I saw him up earlier when I got up.
Morning, Scott! Oh, outside of the anchor zone. Oh man. Wow, that's too bad. They were at anchor before we came in here. It's such a small area in the inner harbor here in Gloucester, and I guess where they dropped anchor, when they swing in a certain direction, then they're just outside the boundary. And so the harbor master came by and asked them to move. And they're angry because there are now mooring balls over there in what's designated on the chart as an anchorage.
When I came out this morning to see how our anchor was holding, a big fishing boat came between the two of us and there was only about 30 feet between us. I was still on European markers. I thought, oh my god, we're in the middle of the channel, we're between the starboard and the port marker, and it's opposite where I come from.
So, what happened this morning?
This morning I was lying in my bed and I started hearing this kind of clunky sound. It sounded like chain, and I thought, okay, well what's going on with the chain? And I opened up the chain locker and I had a look in and had a listen, and I couldn't hear any chain moving. I was only in my boxers. I just threw on my fell weather gear over that, and I was like, what? So I ran up here and I went out and I checked the anchor line, just the anchor line, and it was tight and there was no slack, and I took some bearings and stuff. And nothing.
You did, with a hand bearing compass?
Yeah. I saw him come up into the cockpit and I went, hello.
Oh yeah.
And I was just thinking, is he thinking the same thing? Have we drifted in on top of him? So then I said, well, I'll go wake up Drake.
Tropical Storm Andrea directly overhead. Our friends are re-anchoring. I like that boat. It's aluminum. They've invited us to go over and hang out. We haven't had a chance, but I sure would like to. How was your shower? Was it awesome? You used a lot of water.
I used a ton.
We're planning on going to the fuel dock tomorrow and topping up on fuel.
I got some dry shampoo to try it out.
What the heck is dry shampoo?
Exactly. I don't know exactly, but it's like a powdery sort of thing. And you just basically put it into the roots. It helps to soak up, I guess, oil. You know, if you've gone a couple of days without taking a shower, it helps to like freshen.
What the hell was that horn?
It
could be
sounded like a whale watching or a ferry, or maybe it's foggy out and like they're letting know, or maybe there's a little boat in the way and like why do people honk horns?
So, we're getting ready to head off for Nova Scotia. There's been a lot of debate about whether we should actually leave on Sunday or leave a little bit further, because Tropical Storm Andrea is heading northeast. I'm trying to decide whether or not we should stay an extra day or whether we should go and just get moving, just get going to Nova Scotia. Weather reports are saying that it's moving up towards Newfoundland, and we're just debating what the seas will be like tomorrow when we're actually leaving. I mean, will there be a lot left over? We're waiting to get the reports. But at the moment, I mean, there's the biggest seas we're seeing are 21 foot in the centre of the storm, and that's dissipating to intubated 15 foot. But that's up in Nova Scotia, so we're just trying to figure out what it'll be like here tomorrow when we're leaving, because if it's really, really wavy seas, or if there's high swell but not a lot of wind, it'll just be a really choppy ride. But I think it'll be okay. Because I'm just thinking, considering the wind direction, like if it was coming from the east and moving west, and then the system had passed, we'd probably get like wave systems coming towards us. But because it's coming from land, there's no... we're not going to get much fetch because we're at land leaving. So if there is going to be anything after it, we're going to be going with it. But I think we'll have a look at the wind and wave directions.
Have breakfast, look at the weather in depth, make a decision on departure, take a shower. 8 in the morning we've got westerly winds at 5 knots. By 3 p.m. it's northwesterly by about 5 knots or down to nothing. By 9 p.m. tomorrow it looks like a total flat calm for hundreds of miles, nothing. All day Monday is south-southeast 15 to 20.
15 to 20 knots.
The south-southeast all day Monday, pretty much.
That looks kind of cool.
Tuesday, 3 in the morning, south-southeast at 15. 2 p.m. it clocks from the south-southeast to the south-southwest. Steady 15 to 20 for hundreds of miles. That's all day Monday. And all day Tuesday is also all right wind direction and good wind strength. Wednesday, 3 in the morning, it's southwest and about 15 down to 5 closer to the coast. And Thursday we're back to calm.
Right.
Oh, they're pretty close.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, they're fine. Should we wait another day?
I think Mo will be more comfortable if we did.
Yeah,
I think
you're
she's
right.
worried
About the big seas.
I know it'd be great to go to Nova Scotia, but if we're going to be motoring for the day, we save fuel, we save...
Yeah, they save fuel.
Considering it was a tropical storm just came through.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
It makes sense. First thing that shows wind is 1800 UTC.
I'm happy enough to go on Sunday and to motor out, and then whenever the wind picks up, then we'll be sailing on that wind, and we'll already be maybe 50, 60 miles out from the coast.
Mm-hmm.
We got up at 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And we pushed off at 8.
Yep.
Like that, we motored out and picked up whatever wind there was. There mightn't be much wind, but even if we're motoring, we're still on our way.
It's a good way to get started.
Yeah, and we can kind of...
I totally agree. I can't believe that just happened. I noticed there was a tiny little crack in there before, but I didn't think it was going to go straight through like that. I was just putting the scuba gear back in the forward locker, and the toilet just kind of gave out on me like that. What the hell? I can't get a new one of these, like, before we want to leave. If I get another one, I'd like to get the same one. But for the time being, what do you think?
What could you use to fix ceramic? I don't know what you're going to be able to bond with ceramic. Like, you'd have to heat it, or I think once it's cracked, it's fairly cracked, and we could try and glue it.
Like a thickened up epoxy, you think?
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, that'll do it. We'll just put thickened epoxy right in the crack,
Yeah.
and then smush it back together. This toilet is below the water line, but it has siphons on the saltwater intake and also on the output hose. Even if the thing broke off and the hose was ripped apart, we get a little water in here, but it wouldn't start siphoning.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, okay. Well,
We can try and repair this.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
that just enough so that I think we'll pick something up in Nova Scotia.
another head?
Yeah. Do you think we get one here in Gloucester?
There really isn't anywhere in Gloucester. There used to be a West Marine, but it didn't get enough business, so they
Yeah.
closed it down. Maybe there's a place that does have them in stock and could ship it. The thing is, we're planning on leaving on Sunday, and today is Friday.
Nowhere it'll deliver on Sunday, will they?
No.
No. It's not affecting how the
No,
head
it
works.
still works.
It's just cracked on the base plate.
I'm just gonna glue it. It's really porous too, so I think the thickened epoxy may bond to that. It's not like a super smooth, polished surface that I'd have to rough up. I guess I'm glad that happened now,
Rather than when we're under
rather than at sea. Yeah.
Yeah.
My God, I didn't think that was gonna happen. I have no idea if this is gonna work. Where it cracked, it's pretty rough, so I'll just put some thickened West System epoxy right in the crack and then compress it back together. And then I'll cut a piece of fiberglass tape and I'll put it right down there. I cut it for 4 years. It's been trouble-free now. All of a sudden, just before we go to cross the Atlantic, it's just like, it's like saying, I don't want to go. Just rough up the surface so that the epoxy will adhere better.
So this is a two-part epoxy that you've put silica powder into as well.
Yes, to thicken it. By thickening it, instead of all just oozing all out, it'll stay in place.
And how long do you have between mixing and actually having to put it on?
They have a slow hardener and a fast hardener. This is slow, so I can take pretty much all the time I want.
The fast ones I've used for repairing surfboards have been like 5 minutes at most.
Yeah.
So you really mix it and just throw it on.
So, yeah, this slow stuff takes a long time. This is the toxic chemicals locker. Showtime. Yeah, this all started when I was taking the macerator out. It's pretty heavy. And I unbolted it and I was pulling it out of there, and I guess I pulled it a little too hard and it came free, and then it hit the porcelain and cracked it. Just a little crack, which I thought was going to be fine. And then today, putting stuff back in the sail locker, I just hit the toilet in the right way and the whole thing just broke off. I think you always want to make sure to coat both parts that are being joined together. And again, I have no idea if this is going to work. And so we've got to kind of think about what happens if it does fail, and especially if it fails at sea. What's the plan? If it breaks at sea, we'll probably just take it apart and lash it on deck somewhere, and then we'll just use the aft head. Oh my God, those are Mo's scissors. She's gonna kill me if I get epoxy on them. I'm not even supposed to be using those for working with anything. Here we go.
And this is the epoxy tape. Oh, sorry, that's the fiberglass tape.
Fiberglass cloth.
It's like surgery. It's like watching an ER.
Now what I need is to mix up some more epoxy that's not thickened like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back. This is the epoxy resin and this is the hardener. 5 parts of this to 1 part of this, and just mix it around together for about 5 minutes. I used a little tablespoon to measure the 5 parts of this and the 1 part of that. And I'm using a pudding cup to mix it in. You have to be kind of careful if you're mixing a lot of this because it can get really hot when the reaction is taking place. Sometimes it can get so hot that it can catch on fire. So, and especially in large quantities and on a really hot day, you've got to be aware that it's going to get really, really hot. It'll probably melt the container that you're mixing it in. So that's all mixed up now, and I won't add the thickener to it this time. Totally saturate it. I scuffed up the porcelain. You know, you should scuff up whatever you're trying to bond with epoxy so that it can sink its adhesion into it.
We just have to be really careful when we're on it at sea.
Yeah, just be aware.
Just don't go plonking down.
I think a lot of good seamanship, in my opinion, is just sort of being aware of the state of everything on your boat, knowing what's at 100%, what's at, like, you know, what's been compromised in any way, sort of knowing
The boat,
knowing the boat. You know, in addition to just knowing where everything is, so you can get to it quick, like your tools. Because everything on a boat, I think, is in a sort of state of decay, for lack of a better word. I mean, everything's falling apart. Just takes time. You might want to be wearing a respirator when working with epoxy, but this is just such a small job, so I'm just going to get it over with. Alright, that's pretty much it. We'll pretty it up by sanding it and then painting it. You really want to make sure to just get it as neat as you can, because once this hardens,
That's it.
that's it. It'll need a good 24 hours to cure. But some people are going to see this and be like, what the hell?
I think those are the best for the boat. No glass, you don't have to drink the whole thing. You know, you can keep it open for however long. It's nice. It fits into
They
places.
do go bad, though. They do go bad eventually after you open them.
Well, eventually, everything goes bad. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Ready for the movie?
Yeah.
On with the show.
Here's to our safe and happy fun voyage.
Time.
Super safe, happy fun
Cheers.
time.
Oh, sorry.
You want butter and salt? Just butter.
Oh, butter and salt always, eh? Oh, don't you look comfortable over there?
I do. This is my yoga pool. Thank you. Mamo.
Mommy.
This doesn't feel like being on a boat in a storm at all. We should do storms more often.
You know, sneaks are small. These days in the road by the wall. Tonight, I let it all out. I've grown so tall. I'm a giant beach star. Someday I'll fall, but not today. Someday I'll fall and I'll say, hey, there's a whole lot, nothing I'ma play today. Be a friend, be a buddy, and light the way. days to come and the youth that fades away. Never mind, I guess I'll be on my way.